Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I do know that you have a tight schedule today, and I appreciate you make it to come here today with our program. Um, with our program, and if have you ever wondered that what is the familiar between the successful, the billion or millionaire around the world? The secret is all of them are rich speaker. And they always, have you ever think that why always they ask us to master the public speaking? According to Warren Buffett, he said that if you can talk or communicate to the people, or you cannot get across your idea, you are giving up your potentials. And I do know that all of you here today, you are determined to be success. And whether you want or not, we are in sales. Every day we sell our ideas. So, masters in public speaking is a must that you need to get in your life. Now don't let you wait anymore. I will introduce you our panelists today. The first one is Miss Tu. She's a little bit young and she was born in 1997. She just appeared on the show called Shark Tank, and the especially the investor agreed to invest her about 10 million just for 20% of the interest for her technology company. And for her company, the secret after her victory is that she spent almost 2 years just for prepare her speech. And the next one is Mr. Shen. He's the director of the construction company, and he's also one of the professional TED Talk speaker at Wales. But at first, he was just a clueless boy sitting at the corner of the back of the room and looking people talking together. And what is the secret of making him become a professional speaker like this? Now please, move on to the next session. I will go around the format of the panel discussion today. The first one, the panelists will share some ideas or some appearance to help you to have a overview of the way to handle your anxiety of in public speaking. And when the panelists here they finish their presentation, you will have an opportunity to ask some questions. Hello, hello, Mr. Shen.
Hello.
Can I ask you some questions?
Yes.
Sure. When you make a speech in front of the Shark Tanks or in front of the sharks, and what thing make you feel most excited?
Okay, you mean that when I present my pitch in front of the investor, what makes me scared the most, fear the most?
Yes.
Okay, hello everyone. Hello Mr. Shen and Ms. Dang. My name is Tu, and at the time that I presented my speech in front of the investor at Shark Tank TV show, for sure that the first fear is that I was presenting in front of many famous people, and they have a lot of money. They are in the high position. So in the past, if I just present in my club in front of my friends or my families or just the members of the club, it is okay. But now I have to present in front of many people like that. So I was afraid that whether my presentation is good in terms of like the content, or whether I can persuade the investor to invest in my startup or not. So I have to prepare very well at home, and I have to prepare at that time. I remember at least 10 times, and I presented in front of my members in the club, in my family members, my friends, everybody, to make sure that I present it in the best way as I can.
And how about Mr. Sher? When you become a speaker, especially in TED Talk, what is your most scare or worry?
Hello everyone. I have a chance to talk to the TED Talk, and that is my speech of the life. That thing that make me scared is I can share my idea, and people don't see the value of my speech, and that's make me think a lot about my speech. I find the way to share my value to on the audience, and that make me stress. And when you think too much, it make you stress. Yes.
And you worry about that your message isn't value to the audience, and it makes you so stressed.
Yes.
And how could you handle your anxiety?
In the way I practice speaking, first time I feel nervous, but when you on stage, somehow you feel excited, and that's exactly the feeling of excited. You know nervous and excited is the same feeling. I mean, at the time you feel nervous, and at the time you feel excited. At the time, and with the excited, I really like. I love on stage.
Thank you, Mr. Sher. And how about you? Who you said that when you stood in front of your friends or your relative, you feel just a little bit nervous, and when you stood in front of the sheikhs who had more authority than you, and can you share a little bit about how could you handle your feelings at that time? Is it difference between is your feelings difference between the time you practice in front of your friends and family, and the time you presented your speech between those sheikhs?
Yeah, it's true that there is a big difference, because when no matter how many times I practice at home or at my club, at the time that I was standing in front of the sheikhs, I still felt really nervous, because my presentation at that time will influence on the sheikhs whether they will invest in my startup or not. So on that day, I just try to do something. I try to do the exercise that I often do at home. I move my body. I move like 10 minutes, 15 minutes before the presentation. I went to the restroom. And I moved my body, like to release my my energy. And I closed my eyes, and I imagined the scenes when the investor agreed to invest in my startup. So by moving up my body and imagine the results that like the good results I can release on the field.
According to the people, they always think that the anxiety just appear when the people are on the stage, and you have just mentioned about you just mentioned about the anxiety before the stage. Can you share a little bit how many stages of anxiety in public speaking that we have?
Actually, in public speaking, we have many, to be specific, there are 4 stages of anxiety. So the first stages is when, like before you prepare the speech. So at that time, for example, if you are in the university and the instructor give you the assignments, okay, you have to do this speech. So at that time you are worried, why it's me? Why not other people? But it's me. So that is the first stage. The second stage is when you start to prepare the speech. So you will be wondering, what should I prepare for it? What kind of information, or who should I ask for advice? At the third stage of in the third stage of anxiety, it is the time before you get onto the stage. So you stand behind the stage and you see that 100,000 people, too many people. How could I stand in front of so many people like that? So the final stage is when you stand on the stage, and you your eyes keep looking at the audience directly, and your mind goes blank. You may stop breathing. So those are 4 stages of anxiety.
Mr. Sun, do you have the same feelings like Paul?
Yes, as speaker, we all have anxiety, and the thing is how we deal with this. We really like we have anxiety, and for each anxiety, we have know how to deal with it. For my case, when I speak on stage, I feel nervous, and my heart rate is about 125. And I know it, and every day when I practice, I make my heart ask that heart rate, and I speak every day. Yeah. And I think practice is help you deal with anxiety. Yeah.
Thank you for 2 panelists today for sharing the experience when they are on the stage. And the last questions for 2 of you is that if you have just one advice for the audience here about how to handle the anxiety on the stage, what is your advice?
Mr. Would you like to share first?
Yes. In my opinion, we can use another words to you use another words relate for the handle. We use the words how to deal with this, how to realize with this, and in my case, my advice is don't deal with it. Just enjoy it. Yes, and if you enjoy something, you don't fear. And when you enjoy it, enjoy your anxiety. Yes, and when you think that about anxiety, and you feel fun. You feel fun. Yes, that makes you don't anxiety more. Yeah.
How about you, Pooh?
When I was in the middle school, it was grade 9, I remember. At that time, I and my team had to prepare a presentation. So in my team, they are choosing one person to be the speaker. And the team leader asked me, would you like to be the speaker? And I said, no, I cannot do it. So my team leader took that role, and the result is that her score was the highest score among the other team members' scores. I was so regret, why didn't I take that chance? So because I was so nervous that I was nervous about how other classmates would judge me. So I didn't start. What I would like to deliver to all of you in this story is that if you want to become a good speaker, the first thing you have to do is take action. Take the role to deliver the first speech ever. If you're always scared of what other people think about you, you cannot do it, because you just sit in the place of the audience and look at the speaker all the time. So what you have to do at this time is take action, and take any opportunities that you can speak on the stage in front of people.
Thanks, Mr. Sun and Ms. Tu. Ladies and gentlemen, do you remember how many stages of anxiety in public speaking that we have? According to Ms. Tu share,
4 stages.
4 stages. I do know that everyone have nervousness when you are on the stage, and like Mr. Sun share, you just enjoy with your anxiety instead of deal with this. And according to Ms. Tu, don't sit at the same place. Just stand up and take action immediately. Now it's your turn, your opportunity to ask our panelists today some questions that you don't understand, or you are not clear about the topic today. Miss Lan Anh.
Yeah, I have the question to Tu. May I ask how about the size of the deal that one of the strategists agreed to buy from your companies, and how much you valued your company in order to sell?
For this question, I think that because there are the information that you were asking me is the confidential information of my startup. So it would be hard for me to share it here public in front of many people like this. So if you are interested in my startup, we can have a little chat after the workshop today.
Okay. But I think that the other people are also care about that information, because I remember that their industry are quite similar to you, and surely that in the future they may go to Shark Tank in order to pitch their ideas. And many of them here, I just want to represent them. I'm sure that they have the same question as I do. So how about that? If you can share with me in private, I think that you can share with the other people as well. So how about that you can share here, and everyone here, we really appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you for your questions.
Yeah.
Your question is really interesting, and I'm really happy that you are interested in my startup. As I share with you that the information that you were asking is confidential, and what I would like to share with you more, it is not the numbers, but it would be the information that you are interested in my company, but not the numbers. So if there is any other information except for those confidential numbers, I can share here with all of you.
Okay, so it means that you cannot share the confidential number.
Yep.
Okay.
But a lot of
Money.
money.
Yeah.
Yes. No that, you know that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Mr. Sung, I watched your TEDx before, and I just saw it on TED because they published your videos there. And I also see some like social media channels. They also published your video.
Yes.
And when I click on the comment,
Yes.
it is so sad that I just saw like they attack you a lot.
Yes.
They said that your video is not useful.
Yes.
I couldn't learn anything from that.
Yes.
And actually that I tried to ask myself, is it true? But I also agree with them in some points.
Yes.
So what is your opinion on that?
I know that, and that actually my strategy. You hate me, or you like me, but you don't ignore me. And if you have comment and you care about me, and I become more popular by it. About your comment, because a lot of people know me, and with the follow with that follow, I can build my marketing brand. That's on my strategy.
It means that your strategy is just to be popular
Yes.
and you don't really want to deliver the values because I think that
Yes.
TEDx is all
Yes.
about idea spreading and your goal is to be popular by TED,
Yes.
and I think that is not really ethical to do, isn't it?
Because our strategy at that time to make a lot of follow for my company, and that is my marketing, our company marketing brand.
So it means that they send you to TED in order just to promote their company.
No, I go to promote my company.
Oh,
Yes.
so that's your main goal.
Yes.
Your main goal is not to deliver the values.
If my value is useful for you, it's good. It's not useful and you don't like me. You dislike me. It somehow make me more popular. And thank you if you like or don't like it. Always have me.
Okay.
Yes.
So final confirmation is you go there in order to be popular and to promote your company. Two reasons.
To listen.
So the first one is to promote your companies.
If my value is useful for you, it's the main point, and it's not useful and you dislike me, it help my company become popular.
Okay. Thank you for that confirmation. By the way, I am a journalist from Thanh newspaper. I will publish your confirmation on our newspaper tomorrow.
Yes.
And thank you for that information.
I'm sorry, but because the time is limited, so I do know that you have many questions to ask our panelists here. But the time is but it's time up now. And if you have any more questions, now please send us in. Now please inbox us, and then we will send your questions to our panelists, and we will reply your questions later. Thank you, Joy. Thank you to join with us
Yes.
today.
Yes. Thank you.